Thank you for making a real difference.
The work you have done and the support you have given in the past few weeks has been amazing. We really can't thank you enough for your generosity, for the hard work and dedication in bringing these houses up to such a very high standard.
Thank you, organizers of the event, people who run after the house, people who gave the farm, everybody was involved in the whole history of this orphanage. To me, the most important thing is that we are collectively, as South Africans, from different races, different religions, different cultures, taking care of our own. He said the best gift that any human being can do is to take care of the orphan. So to me, my hearts go out to the people who gave this land, who put up the buildings, who served and have done everything in their way to help look after these children. Because children need to be nurtured, they need to be looked after.
Let us also give a big shout out to Marshall, who is here with us today. To you, Marshall, I say, without your help and support, we would not have achieved what we have to date.
It started many years ago, but my husband brought me out here in May just to come in Tilbach because I wanted to visit Tilbach again. And we stayed at the Tilbach Heritage Hotel. And the manager, Liana Schkonken, we had a wonderful conversation and I told her I wanted to come back to Tilbach. There was something calling me to Tilbach. And I said to her, I came to Steinthal many years ago. I want to come back. And she said, how do you know Steinthal? I said, my family, my parents knew the Nithlings, Uncle Peter and Frida Nithling and their children. They were looking after the children here at Steinthal in the late 1960s, 70s. They were here where the earthquake happened in 1969. And I just wanted to retrace the steps because we came to stay here for a while, a few days with the Nithlings at Steinthal Orphanage. And she said, Marshall, we desperately need help. And I said, I'm going to help you. And as we were driving home, my husband and I was reflecting on my stay here and that I'm going to connect with the Nithlings again because we are still family friends. And they were so happy to say, listen, we need to help Steinthal. And fortunately, the Nithling family, there's Ian Landsberg, A&A, been in journalism for many years. She said, we can write a story to let the people know about Steinthal. But then I said, okay, we'll have a story, but we need to get a sponsor, donor. And when I sent an email to Bader, he conferred, spoke to Dr. Imtiaz. And Dr. Imtiaz, as he said earlier, they were concerned about COVID and hospitals. They didn't think about orphanage at the time, although they focused on orphans and orphanages. Somehow it just happened. I think all the people here in Steinthal and Tilbach had all this desire and sent it out into the universe, and I think the universe conspired to bring us all together, each one of us playing a role. And this is where we are today. Bader said, Marshall, we're going to do it. Tell Mr. Alec America that we will help. He was the caretaker manager at the time, and he said, Marshall, we would desperately need your help. Things are quite bad here. And then just a week, later, I received a call from Bard, it's fine. Phoned Mr. Alec America, his son answered, and that was so sad to hear that just a week before that, Mr. Alec America passed away. And this is why I'm here today, for many reasons, for the Nithlings that were here, for Alec America, for the children here. I want to see the children to have a better future. And to see what the place looks like now, it is just beyond belief. Beyond the wildest dreams for the children. Here in Nizam speak about the children, the first experience in a clean new shower. They were screaming and shouting for pure joy and delight. And being here to see this wonderful opening, the real dancers, all the children, the wonderful talented singers, the children here at Steinthal, they had the most beautiful voices. So I just thank God, I thank the Almighty for bringing us all together and having this wonderful morning, and that the children here will have, and they do deserve a better life and a happy life.
This is where we lived in 1969 when the earthquake struck this little village and the town and surrounds. My dad was a principal of the school then. My mom was also teaching there. My parents were also the house parents of 300 children, and we have fond memories of this place. Marcel, Hendricks, and her family, the Williams and the Roos families, used to visit us here, especially during holidays. And thank you, Marcel, for getting sponsors to renovate the buildings, because when we arrived here a few months ago, we were most upset to see the condition of especially the ablution blocks, the dormitories and the kitchen. Today I am very happy, and I actually dedicate this day to my late parents.
One of the most important facets of religion is to look after the orphan. And us, from a practical point of view, we've seen the difficulty orphans face in the work that we do. We deal with disasters. We've seen the orphans all over the world, when there's earthquakes, when there's floods, when there's hurricanes, when there's war, when there's civil unrest. And now with COVID-19, it came really back home to South Africa, where in 1 week you would find a middle-class family or even an affluent family lose a mother and a father days apart. And people who had very good normal lives, suddenly the children in any home, irrespective of class or status, become orphans. You see the psychological difficulty, the emotional difficulty, and when you see that kind of hardship from an emotional and mental point of view, it's very hard to turn away. And of course, we were pushed by our friend Marshall Hendricks, who's close to us. We know from the time we put a borehole in the Tygerberg, or the children's home in Tygerberg, and we've had relationships then. And Marshall is very, very compassionate, and about children. And when she called, and when we said, okay, we'll find some funding for it, because orphanages upgrade is not part of our mandate. We do hospitals, upgrades, we do walls, and this is something different. And it's okay, we're always trying something new, let's do this. And that's why we agreed to do the orphanage in Steinthal.
Yeah. So what did you do here? What exactly?
It was mostly about upgrading the bathrooms, putting better fire doors, painting the place, putting curtains, upgrading to the best. But our total focus was on upgrading the bathrooms. That's where hygiene is, that's where dignity is, that's where children, feel good in the day or in the night. And bathrooms are an essential part of any establishment, whether it's your own home, whether it's an institution. And there was a lot of mold, the walls, the plumbing pipes were destroyed, toilets were not proper, it's not clean, it was not dignified for children to live in. And initially we took on 2 houses, and once we did the 2 houses, when my teams came here, they said, but even the girls' house is not right. So we gave the instruction to do the girls' house, and then we were told that the clinic needs an upgrade. The clinic serves both the orphanages, and it also serves the community. And that's why we decided, let's do a complete package. And it cost us almost 4 times the amount that we initially started with. But the team's already on site, and you find the money. And fortunately, there's a lot of good people in this country, and the funding comes to do what's necessary.
The first part of my forming life, I used to be here. My mother used to work in the kitchen, my father on the farm.
And where were you? Did you stay here?
We stayed here on that side.
working.
My earliest collection is farm life. That is what I can remember. Fruit trees, just a carefree child life. Everything was green. That is what I also can remember. There was like, there's a word called koinonia. There was like a fellowship. There was like brotherhood, sisterhood. It was a family. Although there were a lot of children, it was like a house. That is what I felt. I felt loved. I felt secured. People looked after one another. Then we went away from Steinthal when I was 8 years old, around 7, 8 years old, and we went to stay in town. But I always to this day, always remember the nice and happy childhood I had on Steinthal.